Please, Mom, help.
Good evening. I know it's a little bit early, but I wanted to make sure everything was working tonight. So I will witter for 2 minutes to let people join us, I promise. Good evening and welcome to Midweek Deals. I've made sure that you can hear the sound this week. So the green is flashing. So I know that I've not got it muted. So good evening, Susan. Good evening, the lovely Janet McRae. And who've we got? Maureen Carr Johnson, Elaine Lovett, Samantha Hughes. Hello, Samantha. Love the picture of Meggie. I've seen the picture before, but that was a lovely picture. If you haven't seen it and you're wondering what I'm wittering about, have a look lower down at the posts, lower down below this one. There's a brilliant opportunity for you to vote for Meggie, who is a wonderful support to Samantha as a support dog. And we want to make sure that she gets into the final. So please vote for her. I've already voted and a lot of other people have. So if you get a chance, please do. Good evening, Emma Woods, Chris Lisserman, Sarah Jane Kennedy. Yay, we're getting lots of people joining us now. Let's just make sure that YouTube's watching. Remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, then I can't see the comments. So I've just flicked over and I can say, hello, Mary Addison. But I can't keep flicking between the two. So we work on comments on Facebook. So if you do want to make a comment, you want to ask a question, or you want to just say something, or you want to join in the chat, then pop over to Facebook. What Shahab said. Good evening all. Good evening, John and Sam. I placed my order for all 6 dies while still in Morocco. Beautiful country. They are beautiful. Thank you. They're not mine. They're beautiful. Can't wait to see you perform your magic. I've loved tonight's dies. It's funny. I have a video call with Jane at least once, usually twice a week, who is Mrs. Art of Craft. And she went, I can tell you've had so much fun. I have loved playing with these because these are so different. So what are we doing tonight? What we're doing tonight is something brand new, and it's a brand new company. It's new and exclusive, and it's coming from America, and this is Birch Press. Now I'm going to explain. Birch Press is like an impression, if that makes sense, of Memory Box. It's part of the Memory Box family. It's a bit like we have Presscut, 2Js, John Next Door, all into the Crafts 2 family. So Birch Press is sort of usually more what I'd call fresh and funky. And this is the first time we've brought them to you in the UK. They are exclusive to us here. I don't think anyone else has got them. And of course, what it actually is when we're talking about dies from America like this, you can see the price there of the first one, £7.45, which is crazy cheap. It really is. But that is inclusive of any import duty, VAT and anything. So when you're buying from America, you're having to pay conversion rate from dollar, then you're having to pay an import duty. That's all been covered, which is why we're loving being able to get hold of these American products for you and bring them to you exclusively. And you know that when you see £7.45, apart from P&P, that's all you're paying. So I'm going to take you through the dies we've got tonight. I should say a few more hellos to Craftaholic. Still love that. It makes me laugh every time I see it. I've been saying it for so long. Have we got the lovely Erica from Giggleswick, which just, again, makes me laugh. Deborah Wollenscroft, Nicola Leishman, Shara Jane. Yeah, loads of them. Absolutely loving this. Samantha, you says, thank you. Everyone has voted for Meggie so far. And John and the Autocraft for putting Meggie's photo on. Please keep voting and sharing it. Yeah, if you get a chance, share it. Our posts are open so you can share them. And that's when I would never say share one of our sort of sales posts, but share that because it's nice and it's good news. So what are we talking about with Birch Press? What have we got tonight? These are gorgeous. They are limited stock. As you know, everything we get in from America, whilst we can sometimes get more, it is 2 or 3 weeks usually. So if there's something you like, grab it. And remember, free P&P over £20. So our first one tonight is this one. And I love this. I've gone for my two favourites first. This is the Hummingbird. And I looked at it and thought, oh, that's just so different. I've not seen anything that's like that at all. I've not seen anything that's that sort of style or anything, or so realistic and easy to do. So this is the board I made for it. So you can see there, if I go that way, get it right, John, you can see those are the pieces that make it up. Don't they look weird? But it is not complex. Yay, Erica is COVID free, so she'll see us in Doncaster. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's what she looks like when she's made up. And that is flat. All I've done is put a little bit of our 3D glue gel behind. It's all completely flat. I'm going to demo this first, show you how it works. But as Nicola said, fell in love with this one. Was good. Only ordered this one tonight. Well done, Nicola. You need the next one, Nicola. I never say that. I never say need. I'm not that person. But you do need the second one. I loved it. And I thought, oh, that's a bit... Jane and I were like, should we, shouldn't we? Should we, shouldn't we? Because the two of us looked through all of the collection, the new collection, and picked them. And I just went, I don't know, something about it pings to me. When I got the die, I was like, I've got to have that. I really loved it, but I'll show you that in a minute. So there you've got... That's with one of the flowers that we've got. I think that's the lily. Oh, no, that's the passion fruit. Look how big that is. But look how cool they are. I've got a couple more. This has got the second die on it. In fact, loads of them have, because I love that. This branch, this twigs and things, is absolutely brilliant. But look how cool it works, all in our canvas card. Jane's put a load of canvas card on. I will show you through the website in a bit, but she's put a load of the colours I've used in the canvas card on, and some of the beautiful essential card we've got to make these. Just show you this one. You can see how much fun I've had. No one would ever think, I said to Leslie, no one would ever think these were my cards. They really wouldn't. And I have loved it. Really have. Genuinely. It's had so much fun. But look at that. That Hummingbird is just so different. And then this one, maybe reminds me of a fabric I used to work with at Next many years ago. And that, I can't remember what it was called, but this is called Tapestry, this one. But look how beautiful. They're all sized. So that is your amazing Hummingbird, you know, and I will go through that and I will demo it. So don't worry, we are going to demo as well. It's not just chat. Then the next one, this one is my, yeah, I thought this is fabulous. Massive die. This one comes on a magnetic sheet as well. This is the stems and berries. But look at those leaves. Look how cool they are. It's so different. Samantha, if I order tonight, can I collect at Doncaster? Yes, you can, Samantha. What you need to do is you need to, if you're under the £20 postage, you need to click the click and collect button and put a note on to say, can I collect at Doncaster? If not, and you're going over the £20, then literally, because it's free P&P anyway, just make a note, if you can, on your order saying, please can I collect at Doncaster, or give Penny a ring in the morning or an email and she'll sort it out for you. So this is the board for this one. Look, those are the pieces. all of those. So that's just one die cut, gets you all of those pieces. Or they, you know, I'll show you through the dies, get you all those pieces. But look, how cool is it when it's made up? How? That can be all year round Christmas. It's been the backing for so many things that I've done. I've not put it up on the screen, have I? Now, I know this is a limited stock item. This is £13, but that is still really good value because you get, let me open this one, you get so much in here. It is crazy. Look. We're talking, that's 5.5 inches, that one, because I had to measure it to make my cards. So really good, really clever. I'll leave that one out because I'm going to demo that one as well. So that is your stems and leaves. That is a limited edition one. Then the next one I'm going to move on. Oh no, samples for that one. Where, I've shown those, haven't I? They're in everything. Oh, there we go. Just on its own, on a beautiful fusion background. That just wants a little sentiment and it's done. Love that. Oh, Judy says stems and berries already sold out. I'm so sorry. That's one that Memory Box sent us. I've kind of changed it a little bit into one of mine. But love these. But there, with the funky flowers on, I'm going to do those because they are so fab. So that's your second one. Your third die tonight, your third option, is that tapestry. So we'd already looked at that. Look how clever that one is. But if I show you, get the die and the board. So there's the die for that one. And again, it comes in 2 pieces, so you've got 2 dies. So see, so easy to use, genuinely. But again, let's go through the board. So that's the pieces. So that's the pieces. You get those 3 flower heads and that beautiful stem. But when you put it together in a single layer like that, it's a really beautiful flower. Yeah. Sarah Jane said, lovely backdrop for flowers, maybe with pearls or gems. Yeah, and our, I've got one here, sorry. Where have I put him? Look, our dewdrops fit on the berries. Isn't that cool? So the tapestry, to show you this one here, all the flowers were designed so that they could be loaded together or layered together to give you lots of different flower options. So really, absolutely, I just think they're beautiful, these. And again, I've got to show you that one again because I'm really proud of it with that gorgeous one on. Erica says, I've ordered today and rang the Art of Craft and spoke to the lovely Penny and asked if I could pick them up at Doncaster. And she said, yes. The shop is closed Friday and opening Monday. It is because they've got to travel up here and set up. So they're travelling up here. So that's that one. That's tapestry, which I think is just so cute. It really is. Then what are we on to next? What have I put next on the list? Oh, funky flowers. I know they're not called that. They're actually called fun floral. But this is really clever. This is, I'm going to demo this one as well. I know I'm wittering, but I am. We're not doing bad for time, actually, although I started early. But look at the board for this. Those are the different parts you get. So those are the different parts you get by cutting the dies. But look how they can combine up in so many different ways. So to show you, look at this, where they're pieced together. They work so well. I think they're absolute. I love these. These were so much fun, and it takes no time to do at all. So it takes absolutely no time to do at all to do that. But again, a couple more. Oh yeah, you can tell because I put these on everything. Love that. Look at that with our crosshatch in the background. But it's a chance to use not only your scraps, but colours you would never use. Could you ever imagine me making a card with a bright yellow background? But how well does that work? You know, and all those different flowers layered. So I'm going to show you how those work out. And one that I showed our Leslie this, I went a little bit more me, but using the latest collection. Just a little sentiment in the middle, but just around the outside. It's a way to turn dies that we would normally have into something for people who are younger or young at heart. I call myself young at heart. So that is just £6.99. This is literally a throw it in your basket. You need to add this one at £6.99. It is absolutely crazy cheap for what it does. Then we've got the 2 flowers. So we're going to start with the passion flower. This is a big die. Again, comes on a magnetic sheet for you. So yeah, I think Erica's saying she's going to miss Carol Bignell at Doncaster. Yeah, Carol's not going this year. She's going to miss her. You will get to see the lovely Terry, who is one of our angels and does all of our inky and stamps. She's going to be doing the make and takes. So we do still have an angel going. We've got our brilliant Terry going. But this is the passion fruit flower. Love this. And this is easy. Look, that's the part. You see how big it is? I mean, it is massive. But it gives you that beautiful sort of flower. When it's made up, it's just so cool. And you can make that in so many different colours. Honestly, I've put samples all over the place. But just, there, how it works, that's with the lily. This similar idea. So I just think they're gorgeous. And I keep wittering about this, but they really are. But there, with those stems, using those stems as a sort of base for them. Really cool, really funky. I had so many samples with this one on. Where have I put them? Oh, there we go. Yeah. So that's the flower that I've used with that beautiful hummingbird. But then look at that, where I've mixed the lilies, which is going to be our next one, and that passion flower together. But that's a big card. That's a 7x7. So there's so much value in that one. It is literally crazy. And again, I've shown you that one. Then our last one, and then I will show you the website. Then we'll do some demoing, I promise. I've got more samples I still haven't shown you. Like, look. These are just so cool. They're literally piling up everywhere. So this is the lily. So this is called Lovely Lily, and the whole collection is called the block print because they're all like Indian block prints. So they're all like they've been made at, let's get this right. I've got the wrong section going. Let's get this. Sorry, I'm giving you the wrong links because I'm an idiot. Somehow I'm giving you the link to the YouTube and I should be giving you the link to the thing. Let's get that right. There we go. So that is the lily, and they're all called block print, and they're called block print because they're all based on that Indian style of where it's stamped on top of each other like a block print. But again, that's the board. So this helps you with the layout, and these will be put on the website. So again, 4 pieces, but look how the flower looks when it's made up. It's just so cute. It's so funky and fresh. It's absolutely brilliant. So here's one of sort of theirs that they've sent us. So this is what Memory Box of Birch Press have sent us, where they've mixed them together and stuff. And then again, you'd never think these were mine. Loved that. I just got an extra one, and all I did was cut it in a load of colours. And there we go, look. So just so pretty. I could keep wittering about these for absolute hours. I genuinely could. But I want to take you through to the website. Oh, Karen had to speak to the lovely Penny today. She is lovely, our Penny. She'd probably be suffering in the heat, bless her. Because I think, to be honest, we all are. So if you click on the link, it will take you to this page here. So it will take to the Facebook Live today. So you can see there's the hummingbird. There's that tapestry, the lily. You can see the passion fruit. There's the block print stems and berries. Oh, no, that has gone out of stock. Sorry. We have still got... We have, yes, very limited stock for the hummingbird. That was my favourite. I thought that one would go first. Your lily. There you've got your passion fruit, the stems, the floral. Then we've put the beautiful background embossing folders that I've been using so much from Nellie Snellen on. They're just £5.80. Then if you go on to the second page, there's the embossing folders that I've been using tonight, that I've used in the samples. And then we've put some, £9.50. Whoa, I'd suggested that's good. That's 49p cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So brilliant. For all of these, you've got apple green, pumpkin and ivory. work so well together. Sunshine yellow, spring yellow and chocolate, exactly what you need for the flowers. I think this is the first time ever we've done a bumper pack of the coconut white. So you're talking, normally it's £3.99, £4.8. You're saving a fortune on that. And then all of the ink colours I've used are on there. So all of the ink colours, if you're thinking, oh, I want to make mine look exactly like John's, you can, quite simply, because you can go onto the website and buy the bits that we've got and we're showing. So it reminds me of Flower Power with the colours. It does, Susan Mittelbach. It really, really does. So what I thought I'd do first is I'm going to do one. Oh, I didn't position the camera very well tonight, did I? No, not at all. So I thought I would do, we're going to do some funky flowers, but I would show you how easy this is. And this is using that fabulous Hummingbird. I don't know why I keep forgetting her. I keep forgetting the name of it, to be honest. It's terrible. So I want to show you how the die comes to start with. So obviously you've got your die. They're all packaged. I love the way that they're packaged. They're packaged so well. So your die comes like this, and it basically comes in two pieces. So what I actually did was I cut the pieces, this die, for the feathers. I cut it in some of our greens. Yeah, and I made up a mix. So can you see here? I've got different colours at different bits. So I made up a mix. And then the other die, that one I cut in white. But can you see, it's not going to use a lot of card. That's only a 4-inch square. And again, remember, if you've got any questions, guys, just fire them in. So what I've done is, I've cut the pieces here. And I want to show you how I'm going to colour them. So let's zoom down so we can get a better look. And I found it's easier to colour these. So it's a lot easier to colour it than to try and do it in bits of card. So I'm going to start with, first of all, this little beak piece. And what we do is we grab a black pen. I'm using, obviously, our watercolour one. I think the Hummingbird would look lovely in mirror card. Oh, it would. What a nice idea, Karen. It would. So all I'm going to do, and I'm colouring all of this black. If you remember the bees, it's how we did the bees in a similar way. So I'm just going to colour all of that in black. And the reason for that is, grab my glue gel, this glue glaze, this is what you want for this. You see, every piece has a hole cut through for the eye. So I add a little bit of glue glaze on, and then I'm just going to move it over. And you can see where it fits, because look, you can't see any black, but it gives you the eye. And that's what you want. So that's your eye done. And what I find to do is, if I have the board in front of me, it helps me a little bit. So this is our background. This is what we build on. So we don't need anything else on this. Yeah. What we're going to do is take the pieces. So we're going to take, first of all, the body. And for this, I'm going to use Lemon Fusion. The reason I'm using our Fusion inks is because I want them to have the sheen that a Kingfisher or a Hummingbird has. They have like a metallic sheen. And of course, when finished, these have that beautiful metallic sheen. So I'm colouring 2/3 of it in lemon using a finger dauber. Then I'm going on with the sunfruit. And I'm colouring the bottom third with that sunfruit. Yeah. Then I'm going to take the dragon fruit. Now mine's quite a juicy one, so let's be careful. And I just want to wipe a little bit of the dragon fruit over that. Take back with my sunfruit and just blend it in. You see there, we get that warmth. Yeah. If you want to, you can add more. There we go. And just darken it. And all we do is glue glaze that onto this body. Yeah, nice and simple. Nice and easy. Just like that. And you see, it fits on. Straight on. Really simple. No complex things. There's even a line embossed in it to show you where the next bit comes. So the next bit is sort of like the feathers. Yeah? Sorry. There we go. Susan's just told me I'm not showing you in the right place. I'm not looking in the right camera, am I? Sorry. So what I did with that one is I coloured it with yellow and had a bit of pink on it. Sorry. I'm going to go in now with the verdant. So I'm using the verdant green. And all I want to do is a similar idea. Is just colour all over with the verdant. And I'm going to take a little bit of kiwi and just add a little bit of dark kiwi onto there. There we go. Just a little bit. Depends on how juicy your inks are, because they don't last forever. I've had to get a new kiwi and a new dragon fruit, to be honest. Oh no, put the right lids on. Okay. And then all we do again is a little bit of glue glaze. And you see it's got like a squared off end. Well, the squared off end fits there. But you can see him starting to build up. So now I want to do his face. So I take his little face, dragon fruit, and just pink the face. Simple as that. Again, a little bit of glue on. And what you want to do is make sure the eye tells you. There we go. When he's in the right place, you see the black through. And then we have a little bit of like a crest. Simple as this. Take a little bit of that crest. Get it the right way round. And again, a little bit of kiwi, little bit of verdant on top. So we've got it to take, you can just do them flat. Yeah. Karen, John likes to demo to himself. I do. And I do talk to myself when I'm crafting in here. I do kind of demo to myself entirely. So yeah, sorry guys. Here's me thinking I'm making it easier and I'm not. You see that again just fits on like that. But you can see suddenly that piece looks so much like we've coloured him or stamped him or something. So then it's just a case of, I've already put the wings together and all I've done is pile the 3 die cuts on together and 2 die cuts on together here. And it's just a little bit of glue glaze onto those. And you can see it fits, so you can't see any green. Look, suddenly there's his feathers. And then all you do is a little bit onto there. And put his wings on. And that's it. Look, there we go. Done. Simple, easy, quick. A lot quicker than you would think. Took me a while to work it out. Once I'd worked it out, I thought, but that's it done. From white card and just green card for the leaves. But a beautiful, beautiful kingfisher. And so easy to use, just using your inks. And we're going to use those inks in a background in a minute, because I want to make up to start with now. And I want to show you how to work the flowers. So, this I actually timed. I like that. Judy says, the hummingbird is so cute, but in a stylish way. I think that's the best way to class that. I think that's a really nice way to say it. It is cute, but stylishly cute. It's just, yeah. But look, works with any colour. So let's move him back over. So what I've done now is I've brought in the dies from that funky flower. And this is crazy. At $6.99, this is crazy. But look, these are the pieces that are left over from when I made the initial set. So literally, they're so easy to do. There's so many. I've got literally piles of them here. Really has a sort of, you know, flower power look to it. but it comes in 2 dies. And what I found the best thing to do was I've used all scraps for this, and I timed it. It took me 11 minutes to cut and prick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours, as well as taking the colours out. So I thought I'll need one more, so I'm going to get blue. So I'm just going to take the 2 dies, and this is, rather than messing about, this is the easiest way I found to do it. And I thought I could make so many cards out of this. So you can see how little it uses. Just going to pop it on there, and then I'm just going to run it through my Kaleido. But again, all of the dies we're using tonight. Oh, that's a great idea. Jean said you could even make it into a gull. I'm just going to open the door slightly because it's getting warm in here. The temperature is going up as it gets later. It's crazy. So those are all my pieces. Simply out. So all I do is pop them all out. So you get the circle, you get the centre. That's an option. You get the 2 sort of little bits of foliage. Then the flowers come out in 2 parts. So the middle and the outer section. And exactly the same with the other flower. But they're not perfect circles. This is why I love them. Karen, fabulous idea. You could make an Alice card with the flowers. You really could, couldn't you? So how do you put them together? And this is a trick I literally came up with. I'm sure people have done it before, but this was the trick I came up with, because I'm like, oh, you have to span a gap, and I don't want to do that. So what I do is take the flower and put some foam tape on the back. You could do it with double-sided tape, but it's easier with foam tape, yeah? And then I'm going to turn it back over. And then I'll go, right, what centre do I want in this? Well, I'm going to go funky. So I'm going to go with this sort of deep rose colour. So put that on. And then I'm going to go more traditional, and I'm going to grab this orange middle. Again, a little bit of glue glaze. Don't need loads. And I'm just going to drop that on top like that. And then I'm going to grab a completely different colour. Let's go wild. So the little foliage. There we go. And we'll pop him in. There we go. But look, how fab is that? And look, they've got their cut lines, these, so you can, you know, you could pop all these bits up, but it looks so much better when they're cut lines. So there's a blue one. Let's make a pink. Well, I'm going to make a pink oval one. So again, take the oval, turn it over. Just going to put a little bit of tape on. Turn it back over. Let's go for that. So put a different colour middle in it. And then, what shall I go for? Let's go for something pale. So a little bit of glue glaze on there. And then we'll take our bigger foliage on that one. But of course, there's another option. So let's go with the orange. I'm going to take the tape and put it like that and turn it over. So it's spanning that gap. I'm going to go for this bright turquoisey colour. Again, all from the essential card. Good evening, Judith. I love it when people pop in and say hello. Hello. And let's bring that blue back in. Then go for the bigger stamen and pop that in. But how, just fab. Just genuinely fab and funky. And of course, what you can do is to take the centre and take one of these and just do that one. Sorry. Emma, what do you do with all the dies once you have demoed with them? If I love them, Emma, I keep them and they go hanging up. You actually see here. They go for me to play with later. So they're hanging there. Some of them I send back to Jane, and they sometimes go in the bargain bin as a pre-loved on the shows, and some of them I just keep hold of. So yeah, it's just, you know, whatever you fancy. So you see there straight away, And of course, I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, another 10. Literally easily make another 10 of these just from the bits that I've got there. So 20 minutes to half an hour and you've got so many flowers. And it's a great one. Sit with your mini machine and cut them through. Question, how lovely are these dies? I did write and ask if the flower that was with the sample of the Hummingbird could be made from these flower dies. Can they? Judith, I'm not sure which flower you mean, which sample you mean. Right, and ask if the flower that was with the sample of the Hummingbird, do you mean you probably need to private message me afterwards. If you mean that one is the passion flower. So that one is this one. This one is £13, is that one. But I'm going to use these now with the Hummingbird I've just made to sort of make a card anyway. So I'm just going to pull those off. I've got all of these pieces made here. I'm going to bring back my sheet where I made my Hummingbird. Don't want to... I've got enough here, you see, already done to make myself another Hummingbird. And I don't want to... In fact, I don't want to miss out on doing that. So if I didn't answer your question, Judith, private message me after Craft Cave at 8 o'clock and I will try my hardest to answer you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use now the fusions to make myself... Loads of people kept asking about making these sort of backgrounds. So I thought I will do this. I know I've done it before, but I'll do this quickly to show you. So I'm going to start with the dragon fruit, and I've got this cut to 5 by 7. And I'm just going to basically put myself a pink stripe across the top, just like that. Yeah, don't know if you can see, you see the gold shining. That's why it's perfect for these dies and this Hummingbird thing. You want it to be that real pop of colour. Then I'm going to go in with the sun fruit. Now I know my sun fruit, I'm going to have to treat myself to a new one. Oh, not doing as bad as I thought. So just merging them in together. Take my pink and help those two along. Yeah, so there's my sun fruit. I'm then going to go in with my lemon. And then I'm going to go in finally with my kiwi. Just like that. And I'm just going to blend. So you see, you get additional colours. Sorry, my hands get a bit sore after a while. I'm getting old. That's my argument. Oh, brilliant. Judith will PM me later and I'll sort it out for you, Judith. Or if I can, and if I can't, I'll tell you I can't. But no, I can usually guess them. So there we go. Let's move those out of the way. So there I've got a rainbow background with all that colour showing. So I'm just going to take a fan brush and some water. Where did I put the water spray? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. So plenty of that. And I'm actually really soaking it. I really want to soak it. I'm not getting a few drops. I really want to soak that. There we go. I'm going to pop that to one side to let it start to bleach a little bit. And give it a wipe down. And then I've got my flowers, but I thought, well, we need a stem to go on it, don't we? So I've got one here. I'd already made up. That's the passion flower. Oh, Sherilyn, just found us. Good evening, John, Sam and everyone. Remember, it's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, Art of Craft every week. Don't worry. You know, we're here every Wednesday. I will tell you later, we've got something special for you on Saturday because we've got Doncaster show. So we have got something special for Saturday. So I've made up here, let's show you forward, one of those twigs. Really, really easy. It's a single die that cuts you out the bits. Now, where have I put him? There we go. So, it's not a single die, it cuts you the bits. It's a die to cut you the stem. Yeah, it's a die that cuts you the berries, a die that cuts you the leaves, and a die that cuts you the bit to go on the leaves. So you can see here, I've got the leaves there. And all I've done is add the little bits on. Let's move in a little bit, that's better. So all I would do is take a little bit of glue glaze onto there, and then take your 4-in-1. That's very kind of you to say. Someone said, Judy says, I'm not old. No, I am old, I feel it. I do in the heat, definitely. And they fit on exactly. So just like that, so easy to use and get them in the right place. He says putting them in the wrong place, but then that's me as standard, isn't it? So, and then you'd stick together your leaves to give you your different sizes. And then again, just a little bit of glue glaze. The Hummingbird would look beautiful with the fuchsia. It's why I'm keeping one to one side, because I want to put it on with a fuchsia card. So just like that. Let's add another little one on there. And you'd keep going like that. But look how clever that works and puts together. Just my, you know, absolute favourite. But I've got one here that's already done. So let's take our background. But look now. This is what happens when we've soaked it. I think I love that. Now, because I put a lot of water on this, it is a little bit damp, so things won't stick to it. So please excuse me for doing this. But I just want to take any dampness out of it. I love the Bees Beasties and the Hummingbird to add to any flower card. I think I've got to add, I think I've got to. Genuinely have got to make a fuchsia card, or a fuchsia and a peony card with a hummingbird, or add it into my frame one. I need to make another frame one, don't I? When I get some free time, I will do that. So just a little bit of glue, and we'll pop that onto a mat. And then all I'm going to do is add my stem. So I've just glued that onto a mat and I've heat gunned it. Sorry, I'd got the camera in the wrong place again. I'm terrible. But I'm going to use that one for something else because I want to put lots of flowers on. I'm going to use the one that I part made, that I've just part made, because I can cover those bits over. So it just really works. So for speed, a little bit of spray glue, because you know how the speed and the time goes. And we'll just get that on like that. But how well that works against the colours. And then I'm just going to randomly take now the flowers. And this is why I did them with the tape on the back. Because I can go and just pull the tape off and stick. So I'm not worrying about how am I going to stick these on, or how am I going to get them in the right place, or anything like that. It's literally just a case of using, there we go, I want to slide that one in there. So it's just a case of pulling off the tape and adding the flowers. Let's go for a little smaller one, just up here. And I'm going to go for, just to match the colours, So I'm going, you never see me making things with clashing colours, but I have so loved doing this that it is absolutely crazy. So just using the bits that I've got and the flowers that I've made, and you've seen how many more I could make. So let's go with a bigger blue one down here. I'm going to take it out to a yellow there. I was going to finish with an orange, but I'm going to finish with a smaller orange. That would look nice in silhouette without the flowers just this. It would. I mean, I know this is probably a little bit busier than I would make, but that really genuinely screams to me. I love the colours. I love how it works. But see how easy and quick we've done that. And that, you know, for people you're not sure about, you know, when you want something completely different, I know for a fact that if you do sell your crafts, something like this that's funky and modern will appeal to people that you would never see coming to your stall, because you're not going to get that from anywhere else. And then we've got our hummingbird, which of course, just to me, finishes it off. So all I'm going to do with the hummingbird is take a little bit of glue gel, because that's the best way to put it on. Only needs that in the middle. It's going to go in for that flower, and I just push it so it's flat on the bottom here, but sort of lifted up there. I'm going to go a little bit. So that hummingbird is just diving in to that. And if you want to finish it off, and I know I do this an awful lot, is a few clear dewdrops. So a few clear dewdrops, but I'm going to add a couple onto the leaves, because as I said, they're the same size. So if you've got these, they'll work really well. And I'm just going to add a couple around, just because it adds that little bit of sparkle without it being a pearl, without it being a gem. And it just really attracts your eye, I think. It just genuinely works. But there, in no time, we've got a really bright, I mean, no one who ever saw that would think it was me. Nobody would ever think that was me. And if I wanted a sentiment, I'd put a sentiment just there, so it's all balanced in that triangle again. But it's just giving us that absolute basic, or giving us that base, which I think is what we need. So that's made using that beautiful twig. So we've used the twig, we've used the beautiful hummingbird, which is on this one, and then we've used those fabulous funky flowers, which again I've used like this, just spares around a frame. Yeah. Oh, Samantha says, yeah, I love that. My granddaughter would love that. Yeah, it can go for so many different ages. I think it really is fabulous. So what I've got next is I wanted to show you, when I was doing this, I got that fabulous tapestry die. And I wanted to show you how, again, how easy it is to build that in a single flower, or how easy it is to build that one up, but also how we can use that wonderful sort of twigs that we've just done. So I'm just finding the die out. So what I've done is, literally here, when I was cutting it, I cut loads because I was using scraps. I literally cut so many pieces, and I cutting them, look, 2 at a time, because the die was good enough to allow me to cut 2 at a time. So I've done these in some of the fabulous yellows and things like that. So just show you how easy the stem is to do. So let's open this and take the stem. So again, it comes in 2 dies, nice and simple, nice and easy. Let's take a scrap from the scrap bag. And all I'm going to do is put that on. So all I want for this one is just the basically the stamens. Is that the word I was looking for? So let's just run that through. But you can see there, look, it's got all those cut lines in it again. It's just seriously fab. And all you would do is take that one and cut it in different colours. But then what I was doing is just taking these and building them up. So instead of going basic, okay, there's a tall one of that, there's a tall one of that. Let's get a tall purple. Let's go random. Yeah, so a little bit of colour on that, and let's go with, well, I've got a pinky colour, so, you know, let's play with the colours, and they fit on exactly. So let's have a blue on that. Oops, no, there it is. That one's already been stuck together for some reason. With all the dies, you can make very vibrant cards, says our Karen. You can, Karen. You can make beautiful soft ones. These will work in so well with the other memory box. But I think they just work really, really well for the bright colours as well. So I'm going to go with a taller to bring the colours in. And then I'm going to go for something completely random again because it works. And I'm just going to take this orangey colour again. Just make sure, because I've probably got two. And then all you need to do to stick these on. Also, if you have any Indian friends, you can make some nice cards. It's got that look for. It'd be great for Diwali, which is the Festival of Lights, which is a big sort of Southeast Asian festival. So it would work so well for things like that. So yeah, put that on. Put that on. But there. Done. And that doesn't need a bright background or anything. Sorry, just had to answer the door. I have a note on my door saying I don't have to after 6 at night. Oh, bless you, Janet. That's a very sensible idea, actually. But you can see, just on a piece of white, mount it onto something like a piece of blue or something like that. And you can, or something, one of the colours in there. And there's a really classic, simple card for you made. So I've got pieces literally hanging about absolutely everywhere. But I did do a background, and one of mine. So I did do a torn paper background. So I took a light blue, a turquoisey, and that sort of marine blue. These dies Birch Press and Memory Box. Yes, they are, Andrew. It's you probably know better than me being American. Birch Press is like an impression. They do poppy stamps, Birch Press and Memory Box. It's all Memory Box. They're kind of like different vibes from them. So I'm just going to put that down. And then I've got the piece that we made, that I got pre-made. But just look at the difference. Torn backgrounds. That looks to me at the moment a little bit amateurish. As soon as I put that on, it makes sense. It really genuinely works. So again, I'm going to add a little bit of spray glue on the back of there. I'm going to have so many to actually show tomorrow, aren't I? And the first of the Christmas videos will be out tomorrow, but I'll tell you all about that in a couple of minutes of how that's actually working. And again, I can just add, even though you wouldn't expect it to, it can just add a few of those little flowers on. And it works. To me, that really works. And it's bright. So it gives you something very, very different. I always want to make up the last thingy to put it on. But you can see that, yeah, we could make that into a DL card, but I like that at that length. But what I'd also got, if I wanted to on this, was I'd also got one of the big flowers. So I'm just going to trim that stem down a little bit. And then again, a little bit of glue gel. Let's use the injector. And I'm going to tuck that in. So they mix and match perfectly. So even though I've used, it makes me think sometimes when I look at this and these sort of colours, I think of like canal boats and canal boat painting, all those bright colours on black, but they do genuinely work. So just doing that, and again, I've got, yeah, love that, pieces that are left on my desk. Oh, I love that. Nicola says people annoy me. People annoy me all the time, Nicola. I'm not a people person. I love my crafters, but I don't like normal people. We know we're not supposed to use that word anymore, are we? In fact, if Sam was here, he'd be shouting at me, shh, don't say things like that. But you know what I mean? I love our crafters. But I'm not good in conversation when it's not about things like this. So, and I'm just going to pop on. There we go. Why aren't I using my tool? Because they're a nightmare to pick up. And that's what I got it for. There we go. So you just see there, that needs a little bit more. Using bits that we've got left over. Just works so well. So I'll show you forward. But look, again, bright. Not what you'd expect, but I love that. And again, just a little sentiment just there to keep that triangular thing going. You know, hooray or something like that would really work. And this is the only time I would actually put, 'cause on a lot of mine I've put sentiments in black on these, because the bold colours, I'm always telling you, if there's no black, don't use black, but bold colours actually genuinely work. So we've got really bright things you wouldn't have expected from me for tonight. So I really hope you've enjoyed that, and you've liked your sort of sneak peek glimpse into the world of Birch Press, which is, you know, like I say, it's part of Memory Box. It's coming from Memory Box. We know the quality because we've been buying those so much. Susan Mittelbach just said, I'm not a people person. No, I don't think any of us crafters are. We just like our crafters, and that's it. But thank you for joining me. You know, don't forget, everything is available on The Art of Craft, and it's free P&P over £20. So it's always worth throwing something like that tapestry die in at £6.99. You know, in if you fancy something a little bit different, or you want to get it up above that, because remember, postage is £3.49, and that's nearly the cost of a glue glaze. You might as well have a glue glaze and not pay postage and packaging. It's almost like getting that for free. So thanks for joining me tonight. I will be back in 6 minutes time for Craft Cave Live, where we're going to be playing with weaving and centres of dies. Karen Boxall, I have a 3D jug die. The flowers would be great embellishments for. Fabulous idea, Karen. Oh, you'll have to send me one of those cut out. I'd love to have a go at that. But thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I won't be back on Saturday, and I won't be back on Sunday because it's Doncaster. So just to let you know, we will be launching the brand new John Next Door Christmas collection, the first 4 dies, the first collection, on Saturday morning at Doncaster. So they will be exclusively available at Doncaster from us, nowhere else and nobody else at that point. They will be launching on The Art of Craft at 6 p.m. on Monday night. So I won't be here on Saturday, I won't be here on Sunday, but I will be on Monday night at 6 o'clock. But we'll put reminders out, and that will be here on The Art of Craft, and that will be your first chance, unless you come to Doncaster, to get the new Christmas collection. And it is a limited edition collection as well. We have hundreds, not thousands, is the fairest way to say it. Marion said there are some stamps for Christmas. There's 4 beautiful 2J's ones. There's a gorgeous robin. They'll be coming out, I think, towards the end of July. They're on order. We're just waiting for them to arrive, and I've got all the samples there. If you see the ones from Julie, they're beautiful, and Terry, gorgeous. So they're coming out, so hopefully then. But what we'll be doing on Saturday night is, I didn't want to leave you on your own on Saturday night, so at 6 o'clock we're doing a Saturday special, and I've already filmed it as a video. It's this, again, Memory Box, beautiful. And will go out at 6 o'clock. So the products will be available at 6 o'clock on Saturday, And look, I mean, how cute is that? And a full video. So you've got something to keep you amused if you're not at the show on Saturday night. So that's 6 o'clock Saturday. So thank you for joining me so far tonight. And hopefully you can join me in 4 minutes time for Craft Cave Live, which is